Blender, an animation software which millions of people use. Now here's the question, could I learn Blender? Well, I mean, it can't be that hard, right? Well, little Eviljewel, you have no idea. So in this video, I'm going to be attempting to create an animated short film using this software. So let's begin. So the first thing we need to do before we start animating is we need something to animate.
Well, duh.
Now, the first option would be to create a human, which is the most common option. But there's a problem with that. I'm a noob and humans are hard. So instead, I'm going to create a dog and a squirrel for my two main characters I'm going to use in the animation. However, these characters are still not done.
What?
Why not, you may ask? Well, we need to give them an armature. An armature is basically the bones of the character, which you put inside the character to make them move around and stuff. And let me just say, this is really annoying. All the armatures are getting in front of each other and just... Why? Anyway, I just came back from my mental breakdown and now we can move on to the next step. The hardest and the funnest step through the whole process, the animation. So, to animate the character, we need to use a thing called keyframes. What's a keyframe, I hear you ask? Well, basically, if you keyframe the character in one position and then keyframe the character in another, it will look like they would move from those two different positions. But there is sort of a way that you can cut corners. So I would not show the legs in the process. So literally, in the actual animation, they're just floating. Or I would not make the character turn towards the camera. That way you wouldn't be able to see them blink, because then I wouldn't have to make them blink. Also, here's another little fun fact about the animation. I actually used a bit of 2D animation for the window smashing, because if I was actually going to make the window smash in 3D, it would probably look like this. Anyway, now that we've done the animation, we need to go into the next step, which is the editing, a process which I am way too familiar with. But luckily, since I already know how to edit, this was the easy part of the process, unlike how with Blender I knew nothing. And now, after all of that, we are done. And now, even though the short film was literally 1 minute, it took forever. But I would say if you ever want to learn Blender, then go for it. But be prepared to lose your sanity in the process. However, if you just want to watch that I made, then click here to watch it. And I will see you all in the next one.